Hi, Maria the Amateur Crafter here. So tonight I am going to get a logo ready to use with Infusible Ink transfer sheets or the Infusible Ink, I almost knocked over my mug, the Infusible Ink Pens. I do have them upside down on purpose and I'll tell you about that in a while. So let's get started. I'll show you the work that I have done and tell you why I made a mistake and why that won't work for Infusible Ink. So let's go ahead and hop into Design Space. Here we go. And here is my project. I'm going to customize this. So these two items I already set up. However, I set them up incorrectly. This one has a little of an outline around it. That's a pen group. How weird. I don't know why that was there, but that's fine. It's what it is. Design Space has gone through a few updates. So actually, let me go what I'm looking at first. So this is the mug that I'm going to put the design on. And so let's measure it and look how big the design should be. I think maybe around 4 inches would be about right. 4 inches width. Now the width is going to be my constraining dimension because this is a long skinny logo, so we're going to make it go the width of the mug. So about 4 inches is what I think. I mean, if I went 5 inches, it would be almost a little bit too big. That's about halfway around the mug. So my design needs to be about 4 inches in Design Space. I have these ones dimensioned for 5 inches. You can see that right there. The reason why these won't work is because this black layer at the back, let me hide these, I actually set this up for a vinyl sticker so that they could be layered. So that would work, but not for Infusible Ink. Infusible Ink is a knockout method versus a layered method. And same with the markers. I actually set this up, which isn't working properly. There we go. How weird. So this group isn't working properly. I'm going to delete it and reset it. But this group I'm actually going to hide because I can use that if she wants vinyl stickers made. So I did that work. I'm just going to hide that and make it go away. Let me go ahead and upload a different image of this as well. So I uploaded it in 3 different colors. It was a PNG file. And I want it to be just, let's see if we can do this one. When you upload it as a PNG, it looks like this. When you upload it as a SVG, scalable vector graphics, you don't get this page. So what I want to do is actually leave, we want the heart. So I'm going to make this a 2-color design, just the green and the orange. So I'm going to, this heart has a white outline. So I'm going to upload this twice actually in two separate files. There we go. So I'm going to get rid of this one first. So this will be the white layer or the green layer. And I'm going to call that green. I'm going to make this just a cut image. And I'm going to upload it again, the same file. And I'm going to do, I always just select complex because I do. So I'm going to erase all of the white. Actually, I'm going to do it with the select, and it should get each of these letters as I go across. I could have made a really big volume or eraser. Let me use the eraser for these. And I do want to erase the white on the outline of this heart. So let's see if I can select that. I'm going to zoom in. See if I can select it in one go. I'm going to put my crosshairs right there. Yep, perfect, good. So now that looks right. Bake Shop 2, and I'm going to do this orange. Okay, and a cut image. Upload. Nice. Oh, it looks like I uploaded that one before. Oh well, I'm going to select both of those two, add them to my canvas. And the first thing we'll do is we'll set it up for Infusible Ink, and then we'll set it up for the markers. So here's our two files. It came in huge, and we want this to be right about 5 inches. Now the other one had the black layer as the back layer. Again, with Infusible Ink, we're not even, and on this little mug, we're not even going to be able to see that. So it's silly to do it that small. Okay, so there it is, 4 inches. Let's find this heart. Oh, that's funny. The heart came in the right size, but let's change the colors so that it makes sense. And orange. Now this is interesting. Oh, the studio did turn green. It's just you can't see it very well. Yeah. Oops, let me switch that back to 5 inches. I must have had both of the items selected so that they came together. So there we go. That's what it looks like. This studio is going to be super tiny on the Infusible Ink. But that's how it's going to work. Oops, I said this for 5 inches. I wanted it to be 4 inches. Let me select both again and size it down. There we go. Yeah, we might lose when we do the Infusible Ink, we might lose the studio name just because it's so tiny. I don't even know if that's going to cut out very well. And because of that, I'm actually going to let the person know that it might not work very well. Let me group that. I'm going to duplicate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this one to pen. And I'm going to do it as pen, and I'm going to check the mark or the fine point, the 4-point pen, 0.4 millimeters. I could do the 1 millimeter markers, but I think that's going to be too thick for what we're doing. So I'm going to do the fine point pen, and I'm going to select the color as my forest green and Infusible Ink. So I'll go to my Infusible Ink colors, and there's the forest green. Now I selected that for both of them, but this one should be orange. So let's just change that one to the Infusible Ink orange. Whoops. There we go. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to ungroup these two, the ones that we have for the pen. There we go. And I am going to make the pen draw all of the lines so I don't have to. So there's a tricky way to do this. You go to offset, and then I'm going to do 0.001. For the pens, I find that that's a good, a negative. So instead of doing an offset, I'm doing an inset, 0.001. And I'm just going to click off of that so it actually draws it on the inside of my thing. Now notice on the inside of my letters, notice however I have only selected the green layer over here in the layers panel. And I'm waiting for Design Space to catch up. Okay, there it did. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And I'm going to just keep on doing that same thing. My settings stick. So I'm just going to keep on selecting it and going to apply. And it's creating these new layers every single time. And you can see that it's making the layers more thick each time. In fact, you know what? Let's zoom in a little just for the fun of it. So it's just a little bit each time. This time I accidentally selected off, so I need to select my innermost layer and apply it from there. So, oh look, one of my layers has a green light on it. I'm not sure why. I'll have to go look. It keeps on flipping back. So Design Space has a weird problem here. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. So Design Space isn't doing what I need it to do. So I'm actually going to clear these extra layers. If I wanted to be sure, I would re-import it, but I know I've got the right one because this one's green and the rest were black. So let's actually not try 0.01 and try 0.01 and see if that gives me any better results. It's still just barely inside the line, so hopefully it will be okay. So apply that. I'm not sure that Design Space did it. There we go. You can see the black and green letters there. Let's go back. Apply. So it looks like I'm having to wait for the blue to show up and the pen to show up. Now I did get a little triangle here. Let's see what that says. Not supported, pen incompatible, change pen selection. Okay, so we can fix that. That's just because it says it doesn't recognize that pen. So let's go in there. Oh, that's a feature request we can ask. So that we can quick select for the pens that we've already used would be nice. Again, this is the forest green for Infusible ink. There we go. Yeah, so that fixed it. And that's my topmost. Let's go back, apply, and you can see it's getting smaller and smaller. We'll go in and change the color of all of them when we're done. I think I pressed apply already. I think it's just working. And I'm gonna get a drink while I'm waiting for Design Space to move. Sorry about the noise there. Well, while we're waiting for Design Space, let me tell you about the markers. So for the Cricut markers, what you need to do is markers and pens, everything except for, well, actually for Cricut, all of theirs, you do want to store them tip down. And the reason why is so the gravity will pull the ink into the tip of the pen and it will stay there for them. So I pulled out the markers and the pens, but I'm just going to be using the pens for this project. So I'm going to go put my markers away. It's so far. But I have all of my Cricut markers and pens stored upside down, not just these ones. So today we're just going to get the design ready, and then we'll go ahead and actually make it on another day. I'm trying to get Design Space to work for me to do these insets. So that's what you're seeing here is, see, I should be able to select all of these pens as well. Yep, there we go. And select all of them and select the color that I want for all three of them. And it should change them all. Yeah, there we go. It did. Uh-oh, it looks like we missed 2, 3. So this one, we've got to do an inset on this one. So it looks like we missed one. I could just at the end with my pen just color that in, and I may have to. The inset is, well, the offset feature is still in beta, so it doesn't work all the time. So that's what's going on here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and save this again. Look, it hasn't changed the color of that inset. Oops, maybe I need to change that color of the inset. Come on. Infusible ink is so far down. Yeah, that looks better. So I added that one back in. Let's see if I can keep it going. Apply. Apply again. Weird. Well, do you know what? Let me clear the cache and design space real quick. Let me save it first. Yeah. There we go. Saving. Control S would do that as well for you, or Option S on a Mac. I'm actually just going to clear the cache, the application cache, and I'll show you how to do that. So quit design space. To clear the application cache, well, before I show you that, let me get to the right place. You want to go to, open your File Explorer, go to this computer, and then go to your C drive. So let me go back to C, Users, your username, whichever one is set up there, and then go to Cricut Design Space, Local Data, Last Logged In User. And these two files are the ones that you want to delete. So delete those, gone. I've cleared the cache for Cricut Design Space. Let me get it reopened for you. Oh, that was funny. And go back to my project. Well, you get the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to make those offsets. Let's do the heart, just so that we can get a better idea. Finish making those offsets, and then I can color in any of the offsets that don't show up. So let's go to the heart, and well, technically an inset, but we're fine. We did negative 0.01. Apply. I'm going to wait until it shows up over here on the right side. There it goes. And while I'm here, I'm going to change this color as well of this pen. Okay, it showed up for a second and then it disappeared. That was a little bit interesting. At least it looks right that way. Let me see if it went to the back. No, it didn't go to the back. So let's go ahead and give it a go again. Oh, look, it reset it. That's interesting. Negative 0.01. There we go. Apply. So it actually created an offset outside. So I wonder what I did. Delete that offset and try again. Negative 0.01. Maybe it needs the 0. Look, it's actually showing it far away, so I'm actually going to just click in the blank box here. I found that that helps it move it to the inside. So problems with offset is what we're seeing here, which is typical of this, it being delayed. You know what I might want to do for this heart? Let's cancel that. Well, do you know what? It's going to be tiny. So I thought about using the bigger marker for this, but it's so fine and so detailed that I think it will be better if I use the pen instead of the marker, because the marker is going to leave a lot thicker line on the outside that will make it harder to color it in if I need to actually manually color it in. Okay, well, that's more than enough explanation for to see the insets, how that works, and how I set this up to work with infusible ink and infusible pens. So thank you very much.